Now, more on the Pope in America and a question. Is it possible to be both a Catholic and a practicing homosexual? The Church says no. Homosexual activity is wrong, and that is non-negotiable. But there are thousands of gay Catholics in this country who insist it is the Church that is wrong. And as ABC's Betsy Aaron reports, they'll be demonstrating their convictions while Pope John Paul is here this month.
In the presence of the Pope, we shall not be moved just like a tree.
They demand to be heard. They need to be heard by their church and by their Pope.
Perhaps the question we ought to be asking is, whose church is it anyway?
To stand at the door of the church and essentially close the door because you are gay is an exquisite agony. The rage is overwhelming, but the rage is there as a result of the pain. From the church in the form of a letter, an indictment. Homosexual activity is intrinsically evil. Those who engage in such activity are disordered.
One is not rejecting gays, one is rejecting behavior that is contrary to Catholic moral teaching.
But the gays believe the two are intertwined.
Well, the gays, like every other Catholic, must accept the teaching of the Church. That's a part of what it means to be a Catholic.
That from the Archbishop. This from a gay parishioner.
How many times am I going to let this institution kick me, insult me, tell me that I'm less than human?
In New York, the Archdiocese has ordered an end to masses for homosexual groups. The masses continue outside the church. But in San Francisco, there is church-allowed mass for homosexuals.
You are the God who made us and loves us, and so we pray.
It hasn't been easy for the Catholic Church here in San Francisco to deal with its large, openly gay community. It's a relationship based on exploration and at times discomfort for both sides. The question arises, why not leave the church? Join a Christian sect with more compatible views towards homosexuality. For practicing gay Catholics, that is not an option.
We're the good Catholic men and women that our parents and our church helped us to become.
I was born a Catholic. I was raised a Catholic. I have a need for a spiritual life, and it has all been in the context of the Catholic Church.
Even though the Catholic Church is a church which condemns the homosexual lifestyle and only reluctantly ministers to AIDS patients.
Lord, I would like to pray for my friends David, Neil, and John, who all recently died of AIDS and are now in your heart. Lord, hear our prayer.
A plea to the Pope, who during his time in San Francisco will visit with church-selected AIDS patients.
I think his visit is a way to make a statement about AIDS and not make a statement about gays within the church.
Michael Smith is a gay Catholic who manages the Names Project, honoring those who died of AIDS. For them, so many Catholics among them, this quilt is being pieced together, name by name. Project volunteers are trying to arrange for the Pope to view the quilt because there is a message in this quilt for the church.
Wake up. That's what we're saying to the church. Wake up and change the way you look at people who are gay and the way you treat people who have AIDS.
There is little hope on the part of those who plan to protest that this Pope and this church will change its views towards homosexuality. If you could ask the Pope for one thing, what would it be?
Understanding and love.
There will be vigils, there will be prayer services, there will be marches. All protests by proud, unbowed homosexual Catholics trying to reach their Pope.
John Paul, open yourself to the spirit that is within us. Christ would do no less.
Betsy Aaron, ABC News, San Francisco.